St. Paul and the shipwreck in the island of Melita. We're going to be talking about St. Paul, and text is derived from Acts of the Apostles, chapter 27, part of chapter 28, and chapter 28 happens to be the last chapter of the book of Acts. Remember that St. Luke, the physician, is the one who has written this story in very beautiful language. He talks about the shipwreck. As St. Paul is a prisoner, he's been sent to Italy, to Rome, to meet Caesar the emperor. So he is this man called Julius, who belongs to the government, who's been given the task to transport Paul and other prisoners, plus other friends of Paul, plus other people, including St. Luke the physician, to transport them to Italy. We're told about Julius. We're also told about Aristarchus, the man from Macedonia. These are the people who have been given the assignment to make sure that Paul and the other prisoners arrive safely at Italy. So before they set sail for Italy, there's this little town where Julius allows St. Paul to go visit his friends so that he can be refreshed. In the King James Version, we are told to so that he can be refreshed. But in the other versions, so that his friends can take care of him. So Julius is a very kind person. He's in the regiment for Emperor Caesar. So then along the way, after Paul has visited his friends, then they sail in a ship that is supposed to be heading to Italy. But the weather is very, very hostile. There's a tempest that rises, very hostile tempest that makes sailing to be very difficult and very slow. Along the way, St. Paul addresses the people in the ship and he tells them, "You are making a mistake setting sail." But they don't listen to him. Instead, they listen to the owner of the ship. Instead, they listen to the captain. They've made a big mistake, and St. Paul says, "Because of this mistake you're making, we're going to lose a lot of things. The ship, maybe even lives." So the tempest rages on and on and on and on, until there comes a time when the sailors and everybody in the ship panicked and they're not eating at all. The number in the ship, 276 persons, don't eat at all. They're afraid. The sun does not shine. The stars cannot be seen. It is pitch dark day and night. You can't tell when it is night. And the storm is raging on, and the tempest is getting uglier and uglier, and the ship looks like it's not going to make it. So there comes a time when the sailors start to throw things from inside the ship into the sea to lighten the ship and see if perhaps they may salvage the ship. One day, St. Paul addresses them again. He tells them, "We've been panicking all this time. We've been afraid that perhaps there'll be loss of life. But last night, an angel of the Lord that I serve came to me at night as I was sleeping and told me, 'Don't worry, because of you, everyone in this ship will be spared. Because God intends that you must see Caesar. You must arrive at Caesar's home, so that Caesar sees you and listens to you as you teach the gospel. So therefore, because of you, all the other people in the ship are going to be spared.'" So St. Paul addresses them and says, "We have not eaten for 10 days. We have panicked. We keep thinking that we're going to die. But what I know from the message I got last night from the angel is that it's only the ship that shall be wrecked. Other than that, we shall live. So I encourage you to eat, to go ahead and eat." So St. Paul breaks bread, gives thanks, and begins to eat, and everybody is encouraged, and they start to eat, and they're okay. But the following day, there's some trouble again with the ship, and again, some of the sailors want to escape and they try to run from the ship and to get into the water. But St. Paul again addresses them and says, "We all have to be inside the ship. For us to survive this matter, we must all be inside the ship." And then again, a few days later, another incident occurs again, the same story about the ship having trouble in the waters, that makes one of the soldiers to think that perhaps they should kill the prisoners. But the man who's in charge of St. Paul, because he has to deliver St. Paul alive, discourages that plan and says no prisoner is going to be killed. So now St. Paul, the message he gave them is correct. They find that they are now going to land in a small island. They are not landing with the ship because the ship has already been wrecked, but they are able to sail on planks, on broken pieces of the ship. They are able to sail from the sea all the way to a small island. So now they arrive safely at a small island, and they realize that they learn that the island is called Melita. The people of Melita welcome them warmly, and because it is raining and it is cold, they build a fire. When they're building that fire, when St. Paul is building the fire, a viper, a snake, a venomous beast folds itself in his hand, but he's just very calm and he is not frightened at all. He just shakes it off into the fire. So the barbarians, the Bible calls them barbarians, the people in Melita, they look on waiting to see if Paul will die. They say, must be a murderer because yes, he has escaped the sea and the tempest, but now it looks like vengeance is going to catch him through the viper. So they look at him, waiting for him to drop down and die suddenly or to swell up, but now no harm comes to him. So after they've looked at a while and they've established that no harm comes to him, they say that he is a god. Then when they say he is a god, they start to bring their sick people so that he can pray for them and they get their healing. There's a man called Publius in the island of Melita, and he's the big guy there, the chief. He invites the group. There's 276 persons to his house, and he shelters them there. They eat and dine, and they dine and wine for 3 days. But his father has been annoyed with the fever and dysentry. St. Paul prays for the father, and the father recovers. And now all the sick people of Melita Island are brought to him for him to pray so that they can receive their healing, and they receive their healing. So the entire group is treated very well. St. Luke says they're given everything that they require. They are treated very well. When they depart, after being given many honors, they are also provided with those things that they require. 3 months later, they set sail for Rome. So the story goes on until St. Paul arrives in Rome, where he rents a house, and he lives in that house for 2 years, nobody bothering him, and is able to freely preach without interference from anybody. He's able to freely preach and teach the gospel. Remember, St. Paul was chosen by God to speak about God's Son, Jesus Christ, to speak to the heathen about Jesus. That is his mission in life. So that is the story for today. We've been dwelling on Acts 27, Acts 28, a beautiful story that St. Luke narrates in very flowery language. At your own time, I would advise that you read for yourself 28, Acts 20. Read for yourself about St. Paul, about the shipwreck and all those things. But the best part is that because of St. Paul, all those souls are spared. 276 people would have perished in the sea if it weren't that St. Paul was in there with them. So my message today is that when we fear the Lord, and when we love the Lord, and when we've been chosen by God, remember that God says that we are the salt of the earth, we are the salt of the world, and we are light. We have been chosen by God for preservation. Everywhere we go, He preserves us. He also preserves the people around us. St. Paul was preserved, and the people with him as well. Prisoners, we don't know what they had done for them to be called prisoners, but we realize that God preserved them for St. Paul's sake. So we are saying that when we are believers, the people around us get preserved for our sake. God preserves us alongside the people around us. So this is my message for today. Enjoy reading, enjoy listening, and then share, subscribe, and like, and comment. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.